Good morning, America. This is Dr. Churi from the Arid Zone, and as always, preparing you for another window. First, I don't know how many of you have listened to the Lorian Fenton file that was produced about a week ago. In that radio show with Lorian, as I always do when I'm invited on any shows, I gave 4 very specific dates for earthquakes and also prepare the world for December 2020, SOS to the World Deadly Window. So if you're a skeptic, all you have to do is to get your pen, listen to that show, make notes, pay attention to my words and my predictions. But as you all know, as a rule, idiots are also mentally lazy. They do not investigate and they can only assume that's what they do. Very, very little IQ. Pinhead. All right, so if you pay attention to the 12-6-20 shocking, explosive, unusual window, you will definitely realize that this type of news that are enunciated through the quatrain and obvious keywords really makes sense. As I told you so many times, my good friend, Dr. Churi is not a psychic, and I don't predict anything. I'm an astrophile, which means I read the stars using a software that was designed per my request by Alwan Software in Los Angeles. Okay, so in other words, I am a scientist, a different type of scientist. A scientist, 71-year-old soon, three months from now, 2 months from now. I had plenty time all my life to observe, like the ancient erudite men of disappeared civilization. They watched the stars, they watched the movement of the stars, they watched people, they paid attention to nature, they pay attention to all sorts of things that you can't today because you're watching the news, you're watching YouTube, bullshit. What's going on out there? You'd rather just be entertained than get do some mental gymnastics that would allow you to raise your cosmic consciousness like I do. You know, when I don't write, when I don't study, when I don't produce, when I don't read for my endless clientele knocking my door from all over the world, I'm in that room over there. That's where I have all my keyboard, my piano, and my guitars. And this is how I regenerate. In fact, you're going to see pictures of my music rooms and a good deal. If you want a part of Dr. Churi, read it. That newsletter has something good for you. And as always, any and all of my SOS to the World window, will it be Uranic, Plutonic, or Moonic, always depict earthquakes at or above 6.0. Of course, you're going to have the morons out there that said you got a 6.0 every week. Wait a minute here. No, you don't have a 6.0 every week. Okay, you have a series of 2 or 3 earthquakes during my windows that last a few days. And pay attention. I do this on the radio, on TV all the time. I can't even count all my earthquakes predictions. And as you all know, you only have to click on a specific link to see how USGS, NASA, and the Seismology Institute treated me when I give them exact date of earthquake above 7.0. 2 of them. And the email, the dates don't lie. Again, you can't make these things up, my friend. All right, so we had the 6.1 in Taiwan yesterday at the beginning of this window when I told you be ready. Yesterday, my video was a be ready, dramatic news, death, drama, cops killing people, crazy people killing people, all sorts of wake-up calls, anything about death and anything about sex, about money come to light. So the idea is for any smart and curious human being, the superhumans, to become a VIP and be aware of those windows and either avoid them entirely or be extremely prudent during those deadly cosmic winds if you've got to do anything. Why would you sail your ship in the middle of a storm and taking the chance to have to sink? However, there are people who do it purposely. You see it on TV, those guys looking for crabs in the middle of the ocean with 30 feet waves. These are professionals, okay? And many of those ships that went down, it is because they were under their negative cosmic biorhythm. It's not a normal day when you're suffering your own personal 2020 cosmic biorhythm, especially when they are in conjunction or when they ride with one of my deadly Plutonic window. Do you want to play Russian roulette? Be my guest. Do you want to pass when the light is red and totally ignore the stop sign? Be my guest. You want to play Russian roulette every day with your life? It is your choice. Remember, you see, that's the laws of man, the laws written by man. The Bible, the DMV, the IRS, the red light in the street, the stop sign in the street, all those laws that you must oblige every day. But because you don't see the other side of my hand, does not mean it doesn't exist, my good friend. Here are the laws written in light by God himself through the cosmic code. And this is why I got my hat. I am the first cosmic cop on planet Earth, making you aware that God created the stars and the heavens for more than the sake of beauty, okay? He gave them to us for interpretation so that we may lead a safer, more productive life. So the last window that I wrote was on November 29, and we are December the 11th. So you have all those dates at the beginning of the month. You have all those windows at the beginning of the months. So this, if you got a plan to go some places, check on those dates. And on those days, if you get stopped by a cop, whoa, be nice, be decent. Yes, officer, no officer, put your hand where they belong that they can see it, because during a Plutonic window, emotions are over the roof, okay? Emotions always override your logic. You're not gonna have control, and the cop's not gonna have control. He's gonna get scared, and he's gonna shoot you, or you're gonna shoot him, especially if you're reptilian infected and loaded with legal or illegal drugs. All right, okay. Let's see if you understand me. So December 12th, that's tomorrow, okay? It's already in effect, okay? We are quitting the shocking news, the explosive news, okay? And we are moving into the deadly Plutonic window. You get to know it today, but you could have known it at the beginning of the month, especially if you decide to go to New York, okay? All right, question is clear. Hidden secret, sex money comes to light. Raw power challenges police, deadly villain. Ugly face of death, drama, horror surface. Nature, man's religion, bloody folly reign. Remember, a Plutonic window is the red carpet of the reptilians, the golden door to get to you psychically and turn you into a lunatic. Be careful. I would never say that after any of those deadly Plutonic window, you are a prime target of those reptilians, those nasty negative entity that can only survive in dark matter with your fear, with chaos, with death, with drama. We are now into this big bad weather. Okay, keywords. Unlike Nostradamus, I don't have to write gloomy, secret things, make it difficult for you to read, because the French Inquisition is not going to burn me or hang me. While many of my enemies out there would love to see me dead because they're jealous and they're insecure. They're the young soul. They have inferiority complex. They don't like my success. They don't like me to have all the beautiful toy that I deserve after working my ass for so many years, and I deserve, right? I'm sure you agree with me. Okay, so those keywords are there for you to delegate. I always put them in red. Those who are reflecting the news, you're going to have those keywords in red. So they are very, very obvious. Nostradamus couldn't do that because he wanted to keep his head on his shoulder. Okay? All right, we understand each other. And as always, I always, when the new comes in, until my next video, 2, 3, 4 days from now, I add those news. I give you more proof, more solid grounding. I help you to raise psychically. I help you to develop more cosmic consciousness so you understand how God speaks to earth through the signs. Okay? All right, so come back often. That's the idea, and keep up. If you want to understand Dr. Cherry, you will have to come back and you have to study. That's why my videos are not going berserk all over the place, because it's studying. And, you know, you'd rather be entertained and watch stupid videos out there. I understand. Okay. I do too. Like, you know, I'm just a human being like you. Okay. But I know a little bit better. That's all. All right, so move on. We're going to start to talk about hidden secret, sex money come to light for President Trump. Manhattan DA interviewed employees of Trump's bank and insurer in a criminal probe. I told you many years ago, they're going to get him. The IRS is going to get him. Nobody escaped karma. Trump is a salesman, okay? He is like you and me, but he's a Gemini. Gemini divides. That's why this country is divided. Gemini is also all about radio, communication, newspaper, magazine. That's why every news media cannot stop talking about President Trump. He is a Gemini, double face. That's what he does. He's a sales car person. To be born as a salesman, as a messenger of the God on the positive sign of the sign of Gemini, and as the Lord of the thieves in Greek mythology, if you get those two faces all the time. So it's all lies. Everything around you coming from this administration and President Trump is set and written in light through the stars. It's all lies and confusing. Dividing is basically what Gemini do. And on top of that, he's not only a Gemini, he has the head of the dragon in Gemini. And the year 2020 has the head of the dragon in Gemini. It's all about blah, 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 blah about Trump. Hope you get it. Saturn is in Sag. You heard me before. Sagittarius was the law. Very unlucky was the law. Sagittarius was nature, the wildlife. Oh, let's make money, okay? Let's do the fracking before we save nature. Who cares about the children of the future? I want a lot of money, okay? So by pushing all this nonsense, by pushing all this conspiracy, he's getting hundreds of millions of dollars. And all these morons that are supporting him have absolutely no clue because they've been indoctrinated. They only watch something and they will not try to go outside of the box they've been set in by President Trump. Okay, that is what it is. And I'm not judging him because he's the president. I'm looking at him through his stars, like I would look at you through your stars, because I am not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a politician. I'm a freaking astrologer, and this is what astrologers do. They read the stars, and the stars don't lie, not to me. Now, the future has always been and will always be my utmost secure witness, and the future will prove me right. All right, so what's difference about the Hunter Biden investigation? Again, the same thing, secrets to light. Okay, I don't want you to think I'm biased. No, I talk about Trump, I talk about Biden, whomever. It's all about the stars. And of course, you're going to have those morons who cannot separate themselves from their emotions. They're so indoctrinated, like a religious fanatic. Okay, they're going to give the thumb down. You can't change. You can't fix stupidity. I can dance on my head. These people will never, ever agree with me because it's just the way it is. None of us has inherited the same UCI, the same unique celestial identity. We will never, ever, we can only agree to disagree because our stars are different. You can only relate to somebody because of your experiences, your education, your intelligences, and most of all, your stars. Something that 99.99999% of the people on planet Earth, including all the politicians and all the presidents on planet Earth, do not have. No cosmic consciousness. That's where you are. That will change, of course, with the world of Aquarius. That's why I'm here. That's why you come back. All right. So, death row inmate who took part in killing ministers put to death. Death new. Hello. Okay. California driver 22 held in DUI crash that left 2 parents dead and 3 kids critically injured. Death news. A surfer was attacked and killed by a shark in Hawaii, forcing suspension of competition. Death news. Nevada highway crashes leaving 5 bicyclists dead, 3 injured. Death news. Now, the guy says, we do this Nipton loop every year without no problem. Yet this year was just at the wrong place, wrong time. Here you go. This is what you get when you do not know nothing about your own cosmic biorhythm that are in conjunction with this nasty, deadly window. You are at the wrong time, at the wrong place, because you're not cosmic conscious. Never, ever in this deadly window take chance with your life, because the reptiles are watching. They're waiting for one single mistake and you are gone, because you do not know what's going on universally and personally with your own stars. And because of this cosmic wisdom, all the dancers out there, all the idiots out there, all the educated idiots assume that I am a cuckoo when I know so much better. And only those of you, the superhuman, those who are curious and smart enough, those who vibrate at my cosmic speed will be able to realize that, well, you know what, Dr. Cherry is real. Pay attention, my friends. Actor Thomas Tiny Lister Jr. found dead. Famous death. Wimbledon champ dead at 84. Famous death. He was 84. Probably COVID-19. But again, you want to read about this news? All the links are live. I don't care about the news. I'm not here. There is CNN, there is Fox for that. I am projecting a different type of news. You should not read the news just like anybody else, you know. No, read the news and see what's producing those news, because there are no accidents. No accidents, my good friend. Only cosmic circumstances at work that humanity, our infantile scientific community, has not yet been able to digest. And again, that's what you are coming back, because you're smarter than all those educated idiots. Okay. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Chinese sex ploy could be on US soil. Keyword is sex. During my window, things comes to light. Secret comes to light. Judge free obese Osama bin Laden henchman behind deadly terror attacks. Terrorist news. Remember 9/11? Dr. Chiri predicted everything in details. Okay? Katrina on George Nori, which they have forgotten Dr. Chiri because he's too real. They don't want Dr. Chiri to tell them Trump won't be re-elected, and they're not going to be singing and dancing like they do for another year or so. They don't want to hear the fact. They don't want to hear the truth. They cannot handle the truth. Instead, they are promoting false prophets that wait the very last night to tell you who's going to be the next president, when any one of you watching me today could have done it. Whoa, hello. Mr. Hope. Whoa. And thank you. Thank you. Coast to coast. Thank you, Tom, and thank you, George. This is how you treat one of your best promoters okay? One of your most accurate predictor and one of your best friends. Hello, what's going on here? Well, you know, the stars of your president divide. In fact, I personally believe that Trump came in power to kind of point out the smart people and the morons, those who believe, those who do not challenge, those who are who vibrate at the same energy of this president pack of lies, okay, and then still give him money because they want him to run again in the future. He's going to run away, believe me. Believe me, he's going to run away. But he's at the position when he can make all these millions. Why not? He's smart. He's a salesman. He got you. He's a Gemini. And you don't know who you are yourself. You haven't even looked at the values of your own sun sign by going through Dr. Cherry and clicking on your sun sign, or you're too smart to do that. This is just too much sometimes for me, okay? What else do we have? Georgia caught striking kid receives a lifetime ban from youth football organization. That's a wake-up call. I told you during this window, whatever you say, whatever you do, okay? And you know, during this window, your emotions are going to be all to the roof. You're going to smack a kid and you're going to lose your job forever. Happens to Rush Limbaugh many years ago when he treats a woman of a slut. But Mr. Rush Limbaugh has a hell of a lot of money, so he put an excuse out there and he kept his job. A lot of people can't do that. They can't do that. They lose their jobs. A lot of wake-up call during this timing. All these uneducated, unconscious, totally infected human being out there in position of power. They talk, they let their emotion go. The next thing you know, they produce a hell of a lot of problems on Twitter or on Twitter, whatever. And next thing you know, they have to get out of their position. They're forced out of their position. Altercation leads to police-involved shooting in Wisconsin, sparking protest. Again, the police keyword is there, but there is also raw power challenges police deadly villain. During this timing, this is where people get together. Their emotion is so high. They want to destroy the police. They want to kill the police. They want to kill anything that is against them because they're so infected, so depressed, so insecure. Their life is not worth living. That's why they drink. That's why they take drugs. And the reptilians having fun, killing everybody. There goes Dr. Cherry trying to warn you. Aircraft carrier Theodore Roosevelt conducts man overboard search for missing sailor. How many of those poor kids commit suicide from those ships? Probably he was in one of these negative cosmic biorhythm. The type of kid born in July, for example, that is supposed to be home all the time with mommy and cooking and with his dog or his cat, he cannot survive away from the family. Pretty much like the CNN guy that commits suicide. He was born in July. He was all over the world talking about food. And next thing you know, he hung himself. Because you have a high position, because you make tons of money, because you're famous, doesn't mean you're happy. And to the point where you go so much against your stars that the only way you're going to find peace is to kill yourself. That's what the reptilians do. Okay, Giuliani leaves hospital after being treated for coronavirus, like President Trump. Less than a week, a disease that killed 3,000 people a day in the United States. What did he say? Giuliani, who noted he wasn't currently experiencing any major symptoms, claimed that some of the medication he was administered while in the hospital worked like miracle. Yeah. When you are Giuliani, President Trump, or any wealthy bastard out there, you know, you're going to be alive because you have the peseta. You can buy your life away. Okay. All right. Now, there is one that I took, he says, the next morning I felt like if I was 10 years younger. He says, adding that he took some of the same medicine Trump took when he was battling the virus through thought he did not specifically name any. My friend, now you're going to see this guy behaving as eccentrically, erratically, and obnoxiously as your president. It is not normal. It is not normal for the majority of us to die. Okay. And then for those guys, a week later to come out like if nothing happened because of those drugs. You throw something up, it's going to come down. That's called karma. For every effect, there is another effect. There is a reaction. Okay. Both your president and Giuliani are completely and entirely infected by the reptiles. There is no common sense, there is no logic, there is passion, there is emotion, there is lie, there is anything and everything they will do to gain power, much like Hitler did. And here I am trying to warn all of you of the gravity of the situation. Those chemicals have an effect. If it's able to kill the deadliest virus on planet Earth in a week, imagine what it does to your freaking brain. You don't have to be a PhD, a doctor, or who is who in America. You don't have to be a genius. Even my own people, normal people like me, have enough common sense to realize what I'm saying is real, is true. But again, when it comes to President Trump, immediately all these people that are emotionally connected to their president think I don't like him. Got nothing to do with liking or not liking. I'm saying the truth as it is through my cosmic wisdom. And believe me, at 71 years old, I know a little bit than you out there. And for that, I should not be mistreated, misjudged, or hated. But that's okay. It's life. I'm tough. I've been around. I'm very tough. Believe me. All right. So, like always, okay. I don't know which card I'm going to pick. So, well, let's do it this way because I don't know what people may think. Oh, maybe people are so, the truth doesn't exist nowadays anymore. So with a president Gemini that divide and split and mix and confuse everything, somebody infected by the reptiles, my gosh, where are we going? So let's see what the news is. Okay, we have Mars, the planet of Mars. Okay, this is the warrior in my work. Okay, it may be interpreted a different way by other people, but Nostradamus Astro Tarot is different. So we have that energy of war, of aggressivity, of danger, of fire. So be careful because Mars was also machinery, gun. He rules Germany. Okay. We had a little omen again. So be careful because Mars means also gun, explosion, killing people. And during this window, you got to be careful. Okay. Use the forces of Mars to help you, to stimulate your drive to learn, to grow, to do something. And especially now that COVID-19 is literally screwing the world, it's forcing you to reevaluate your entire life. Okay. And then because people are so desperate and they are so depressed, they keep knocking at my door nonstop. And I do my best to regenerate these people. And I succeed each time. I wish you could talk to these people after I did a reading with them. You'll see why they trusted me. Meantime, my good friend, this is what it is. Okay. Make sure to come back to that newsletter. Okay. Don't forget to go and check my movie on divine astrology. Or UFOs, they're doing pretty well. So the idea, of course, is to give Dr. Therese some stars. If you don't know how, when you're there, click on the yellow stars, and then he's going to give you an option to give me your feedback. And thank you for that. Another one is on the way. Okay, so that keeps me also very busy because now I have access to 125 million people on Amazon Prime. So here we are. Still do not know anything about me going one day back to George Norrie, but I doubt very much. Those guys just don't like me. It's just the way it is. Life is a constant process of changes where friends become enemies and when enemies become friends. It's just that section in my life. All right, my good friend, make it a beautiful day and we'll talk to you again. Be safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your distance, and stay away from trouble. Be careful. We are under this nasty, deadly window, and hopefully it is not also combined with one of your negative cosmic biorhythm for 2020. Join the cosmic code. Be smart. Bye-bye.